Welcome to day 2 of the Mind Body Pelvic Health Bootcamp. I'm Dr. Bree. I'm a physical therapist specializing in pelvic health, and you are an amazing person because you understand the importance of looking at the whole human when we're talking about pelvic floor issues. So today's challenge is a holistic challenge and a physical challenge combined. We are going to be getting out of our head and into our body using movement, breath, and sound. Embodiment work. Embodiment, again, means getting out of the head and into the body, being present, and learning how to focus our attention on the body and really allowing ourselves to feel what's going on in our body. So many of us are numb and disconnected and really disassociated from our body for a number of reasons. And a lot of us have experienced the fact that we may be holding on to emotions in our body, in our hips. Maybe you've experienced that yourself. You've been in a yoga class and all of a sudden you've started crying, or you've been at a dance class and all of a sudden you felt emotional. If you have ever experienced that before, you are totally normal. It's okay. The body holds on to things. It holds on to emotions and energies in our tissues. And embodiment practices, such as what we're going to do, is a really important way to connect, to get present, and ultimately to release some of this stuff that's stuck inside of us. Again, it's our physical challenge and our holistic challenge are wrapped up in one. So the physical challenge is a great stretch that is so good for your hips and your pelvic floor, and it's the straddle stretch. So this is the move we're going to be focusing on today, is a straddle stretch. Now, if you are somebody who's a little bit tight through the hips or through the hamstrings, and if you try to open your legs in front of you and straighten them out, and your back goes like this, then we need to fix that. We need to change that. So let's start first with the physical challenge, which is the straddle stretch. It's just a stretch. No big deal, right? So we're starting with this, but we need to make sure your alignment is correct. Otherwise, you're going to hurt your back, and it's also not so good for your pelvic floor. So we want you to ultimately be upright so that you're sitting on your sitting bones, your butt bones, and you're not hunched and rounded. This can be accomplished in many, many different ways. First of all, you can place your hands behind you so that it helps to kind of prop you up, and you can also bend your knees just a little bit. So that's totally fine if you need to bend your knees a little bit and place your hands behind you with your legs out wide. So this is the first option. Another option is that you can sit on the edge of a bolster or a meditation cushion or a folded blanket. And when you sit on the edge of something, it props you up, which makes it a lot easier to sit up straight and to not be rounded like this. So sitting on the edge of something is a really great option. And then your legs, it's easier for them to be straight. So ultimately, we want the legs wide apart. They can be this wide apart, or they can be really wide apart if you're flexible. Everybody's different. And if you're doing this with me, you're doing it right. So just play around, see what works for you. Everybody's gonna look a little bit different. But I want you to have your legs apart, sitting up tall, and find that straddle stretch with any modification that allows it to work for you. Now, what I want you to do is our holistic challenge. So this is our physical challenge for today, is to stretch the inner thigh muscles, which attach right into the pelvis. And basically, the attachment points are right by the pelvic floor. And so it's all connected. So stretching the inner thighs, opening the hips. And in this position, we're going to include and incorporate our holistic challenge for the day, which is to bring in the movement, breath, and sound to get out of our head and get into our body, improving focus, awareness, and presence. It also is going to stimulate the vagus nerve, which is one of the most important nerves in our system that helps to calm the mind and body, relax the mind and body, and bring us into a healing state. So In this position, I want you simply to bring your focus and your attention to your pelvic bowl. Now, what I mean by the pelvic bowl is this area right here, this area of your body, the pelvic floor muscles. Here it is looking deep inside of it. Here it is if you want to look from the outside. It's right here, okay? I'll put it right here. This is what we're doing right now. Bring your focus right here to this part of your body. And I want you to simply breathe into the pelvic bowl. This is called bowl breathing. You are going to breathe deeply into the pelvic bowl. If you were with me in yesterday's day 1 challenge of the Mind Body Pelvic Health Boot Camp, then you did this yesterday in child's pose. We're going to do it again today in this straddle stretch. So simply breathe into the pelvic bowl. Don't worry about contracting your pelvic floor muscles on the exhale. Today, we're just focusing on breathing. Inhale, relax. Exhale, relax a little bit more. Okay? No contraction today, no activation. Inhale, relax. Exhale, relax a little bit more. Try to think only and be only focused on this part of your body. Challenging your mind and body to improve focus and awareness and presence with bowl breathing. Now, I'd like for you to add some sound. So, movement, breath, and sound are 3 beautiful embodiment tools to get you out of your head and into your body, and it can help move stuck energy. It can also help move anxiety, emotion, and stress. So I'd like for you to, as you exhale, I want you to sigh. So inhale and exhale. Take a minute, if you need to rub out your jaw, to just rub out the muscles in your jaw and maybe move your jaw side to side. This part of our body, our face muscles and our jaw muscles, tend to hold a lot of stress and tension. So do our pelvic floor muscles. So I want you to just rub out, maybe even go like this. Puff out your cheeks and look to the left and then look to the right. And then look back to the middle and unpuff your cheeks. Just come back to normal and just kind of wiggle out your jaw. Maybe massage it again. Just relax this part of the body. And let's add in some more of that sighing exhale. Sighing loudly and audibly helps discharge stuck energy and emotion. You can feel like you're literally letting energy and emotion go. If you're stressed, if you're anxious, if you're mad, if you're angry, if you're sad, if you have grief, let it go with a loud sigh. Also, this sighing and this deep breathing helps stimulate your vagus nerve, which I was talking about earlier. It helps activate the vagus nerve and helps it bring more calm into your body, your mind and your body. So inhaling into your pelvic bowl and then exhaling, sigh. Just a couple more times on your own. And just know that as you're stretching, you're also present in your body. You're sighing out any excess energy, excess emotion, and you're doing something really good for your vagus nerve, which is a nerve that connects from your brain all the way down through your breathing diaphragm to your organs, all the way down to all sorts of vital digestive organs, even as low as your cervix if you're a female. That vagus nerve is so important for calming the entire system. So stimulate it with the sigh. Okay. Now we're going to add in a little bit of movement with some pelvic rocks. So what a pelvic rock looks like is your pelvis tipping forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. From the side, it looks like this. Forward and back, forward and back. Now, if it's just too much to do this with your legs outstretched, because you can, and I'll show you how. In this straddle position, you can tip your pelvis forward and back by rocking forward on your sitting bones and then back, forward on your sitting bones and then back. But if that doesn't feel good, you can come into a little butterfly, and that might be a little easier, or you can simply come into a kneeling position like this, and you'll have a lot more movement. If this is too much on your knees, then you can also go sit in a chair and simply feel how it feels to rock your pelvis forward and back, seated in a chair. Again, do what works for your body. The key is we're moving our pelvis forward and back, focusing on tipping the pelvis forward, sitting bones stick out, and then tucking the sitting bones under as your pelvis rocks back. Pelvis is rocking. And go slow with this, nice and slow. And what we're doing right now is we are using movement, breath, and sound to really be present in our bodies and releasing any stuck energy and emotion. And if you feel like there's anything inside of you that's maybe frustrated, I want you to just sound it out. Make noise. You can just breathe. Exhale audibly if the sound is too much for you and you don't want to do that right now. That's okay. But movement, breath, and sound. And feel the energy of releasing and letting go. Imagine that as you move, you're stirring up the energy, and as you breathe or sigh, you are releasing that energy. And again, if you want to still have your legs in straddle, you can. Maybe your knees are bent. Let it go, let it out. All right, keep practicing a couple more breaths here, moving the energy, going slow. Breathing and sighing it out. If you're angry, if you're frustrated, even if you're joyful, you can be like laughing as you do this. That's okay too. Just move that energy through. This is going to do wonders for your mind and your body. It's going to help you be present with what's going on now, so you're not just ignoring your emotions and throwing them under the rug or pretending they're not there. You're actually working with your emotions, not just hiding them away. We're working with the stress and anxiety and tension in our body that so often collects right here, and right here. We're moving that energy through using movement, breath, and sound. So to recap, today's day 2 challenge was a stretch, the straddle stretch. And then we added movement, breath, and sound to move the energy and any emotions that might have built up throughout your day. Any stress, it's building up all day long, so let it out. Better out than in. Let it go. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope you felt present in your body, and I hope you enjoyed experimenting with movement, breath, and sound to move things. If you had any tears come up, that's okay. Again, better out than in. Let it go. And just know that as we move through this 10-day mind-body boot camp, if any really big emotions come up, you might need to find a mental health professional that can help you deal with some of the stuck energy or emotional difficulties you may be having right now. It's okay. You are so supported in getting help for whatever it is that you need. Just know that the mind and body are connected. And if you need help for some big emotional stuff that you're dealing with in your life right now, it's better to get that support than just to ignore it. So today's affirmation or focus phrase that I want you to really focus on is thank you, body. Just put your hands on your heart, or maybe one hand on your heart, one hand on your pelvis, and just say thank you, body. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. Wide, soft throat. Wide, loose, soft tongue. Tongue is on the roof of your mouth. Breathing. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. And just bring that into your cells and carry it with you for the rest of your day. And if you want to have more details about today's practice and today's challenges, then please read the video description where I have a more intensive write-up about why we're doing what we're doing and what it is that we were doing. And also, there's a link in there to have you be able to sign up to get all 10 days of this mind-body bootcamp delivered to your email inbox. So check the video description for all of that information. I hope you enjoyed this daily challenge. Let me know in the comments how it felt for you to use sound to soften your throat, soften your jaw, just let it out, release. And remember that affirmation. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. All right, thank you so much for being here. And until next time, remember, eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter. I'll see you back for day 3 tomorrow.